We know that there are so many people across industries who are involved in the sales department, division, function, process, whatever you call it. But the big thing is that what I'll try to attempt here is to try to define something, which is what is sales? So what is this animal all about? What is sales? When is it sales? When is it marketing? When is it distribution? Typically, I have seen three things which kind of start overlapping, kind of not finishing. It's kind of a when, which I see here, a Venn diagram: marketing, sales, distribution. Nowadays, because of some sectors like telecom and all coming in, we also see a strong connect in this Venn diagram, a fourth one being introduced called customer service. That's also very, very strong when in the service companies like telecom, like insurance, financial services. Now, one need not be confused about these. That's very important to understand. As sales evolved, if you see over the years when it first began, it was all about an economy where there are less number of products available. So there would be a manufacturing facility somewhere, and then this manufacturing facility will be producing, say, some chocolates or whatever, and since the supply was less, or the supply of quality products was less, the whole focus was on how do you get it through a channel, a trade channel, and reach the stores where customers came. Now this was, in this case, the traditional role of the sales department was to engage with the channel and ensure that adequate stocks is available on the sales, on the stores when the customer comes at the retail point. At that point, sales used to be defined here. Take the case of some other companies like insurance. Insurance cannot be sold like this. Here the capacity has been created, the licenses have been given to a particular company to sell insurance products, and here the role becomes to seek out customers, potential customers, or rather what we call, sorry, customers is the wrong name here, to seek out prospects, engage with them, dialogue with them, and convert them into customers. Here the role of the salesperson became a little more, I wouldn't say evolved, but a little more different and a little more heavy on the knowledge side of it. So the product knowledge and the concepts need to be far more stronger here. Not that the product knowledge and concepts were not strong here. If the product knowledge and concepts in the case of trade channel was not strong also, the channel partner will never stock your products. Then came a little more high value things like automobile. Now when this comes in, yes, and if you look at it in a competitive scenario as it is now in India, you can get across brands, you can get products. So you've got really marquee companies, you've got the Fords, the General Motors, you've got the Tatas, you've got Maruti, you've got the Mahindras, you just name it. Now when you're talking of the automobile competitive sector coming in, here the sales became a mix of availability, the ability to convince, the ability to dialogue with a customer, convince, and therefore sell. Now here the role became a little more complex. So as and when what we see in sales, that it's fundamentally different from marketing. Marketing's role is to identify various segments of customers where an offering can be designed and then create a product. Sales role is largely to interact with the customers in whichever manner the design of the channel is, and acquire. Distribution is all about presence. Now, depending on the nature of your company, the stage of evolution of your company, various different things have to be looked at it. Customer service is largely upselling as well as retention. Now, so if you cut through all of this, what is sales all about? Sales will have two things common, which is dialogue. And when I say dialogue, it's a meaningful dialogue. And the other side of sales is convince the customers. Now, in essence, if you see, the need for meaningful dialogue is not only there in sales, as in the sales function, but it is also there for head of HR who's trying to sell a new compensation plan to the board. Now, if he's figured out something and he's trying to recommend something to the board, he has to sell the idea. He just can't take a piece of paper and say that here it is, guys, sign on it. No one will do that. Head of HR has to sign, has to convince. You can talk of the head of R&D. He has to sell to his management the various products that he's trying to invest in, and the products that are in the pipeline, so that the management says that, yeah, fine, we trust you and we are going to push some more money or give you the adequate funds and people. Everyone sells. The fundamental of sales is that everyone sells. Now, the context of sales in this particular environment is limited to sales as in sales function, the revenue earning function, the function which is responsible largely to get the top line for the company without losing track of the bottom line. No point selling in a deal where you incur loss for the organizations. And largely, how do you do that? You do it through a process of dialoguing and convincing. Everyone sells. Even your CFO has to go and raise funds from the markets or from the bankers. He has to sell his company's credibility, and he has to get the funds. So this is a universal domain that way. And the techniques or the practices that we will be talking in the subsequent videos, while they will be directly applicable to the sales function, everyone will gain from it. To know more, contact metl@metl.in.